In your LT6 assignment, don't forget your name. That's very important. Can't give you credit for the others. Question 2 has multiple correct answers. Because when you do this, just going to make sure one of your vertices is at 2 and 3. So if I put a vertice at 2 and 3 right here, it can go in any direction. That is, you could go to the right, you could go to the left, up and to the right, up and to the left, down and to the left, or down and to the right. And then just make sure it's a square. Make sure they're all the same. Question number 2 also has multiple correct answers. What I want you to notice, though, is you're limited to use the digits 1 through 6. Notice your length has 2 digits, and then I want 2 answers. I want you to find them. The largest and the smallest combined perimeter and circumference. Now, you can use decimals to help you out here. So what I could do here, I'm not giving you the answer, but show you how you can set it up so you can find it yourself, is what we'll do is we'll make a table. In our table, what I'll do is, to make things easier, whoops, I went too far there. I'm going to call one of my variables L for length. And then my 2-digit variable will be W for width. And then I'll do R for the radius of my circle. And then I could say, well, I'm going to take 2 times L, so 2L plus 2W plus 2 times pi times R. And let me see here. I want to get back to the beginning here. So I want to use the digits 1 through 6. So let's go like 1 for my length, 23 for my width, and 4 for my radius. So when I do that, let me see there, I get 73. And I could do some switching around. Let's say if I put 4 for my length, 32 for my width, and 1 for my radius, notice that's slightly bigger. I want you to find the biggest combination using the digits 1 through 6 and the smallest combinations 1 through 6 to find that solution. And then compare it with your neighbor. Make sure you don't have to do all of them yourself. Okay, on question 4, we're going to draw 3 rectangles that have a perimeter of 20. Once again, there are multiple correct answers. Just make sure that each of your rectangles add up to 20 for your perimeter. Now don't give me 10 and 2, because 10 and 2 would be way too big, wouldn't it? Because 10 plus 2 would be 12. That would give me a perimeter of 24. How about if I go, let's try 8. So that would give me 16 and 2. That'd be one of them. Now I want you to find 3 others besides that. Now if we take a look at number 5, I want to know which is bigger, a square with a perimeter of 25. So if I've got a perimeter of 25, I know the length of each side of my square would be 25 divided by 4. And if we take 25 divided by 4, 4 goes into 25 like 6.25, right? So I'd get 6.25 on each side. If I do an area of 25, I know that's length times width. So that would make each side 5. So we can definitely see the perimeter of 25 would be a bigger square. On question number 6, there's also multiple correct answers. Since we're using the coordinate plane, I would keep it to the first quadrant to make it easier, although you could do other parts also. And remember, the area of a rectangle is 1/2 times base times height. So I would place my triangle in there. So when I take the base times the height divided by 2, I'm going to get an area of 6. So I want 6 equals 1/2 times base times height. You can think of it this way: multiply both sides by 2. 12 equals base times height. So pick two numbers that multiply to 12. Have one of those be your base, the other be your height. Now if we take a look at number 7, we've got this rectangle that has an area of 360. So let's draw a picture out so you can see that. And we know it's 10 times as long as it is wide. So what I'll do is I'll call the width x and the length 10x. So we know area equals length times width. Or 360 equals x times 10x. We can simplify that a tad, so that would be 10x squared. Well, to solve for x, we'll divide both sides by 10. So 36 equals x squared. And I'll take the square root of both sides. X would be 6. And I want to find the length and the width. So I know my width is going to be 10 yards. No, try that again. 6 yards. My length is going to be 10 times 6, or 60 yards. Don't forget the units, because there's units in the problem. And if we take a look at question 8, it's kind of familiar. It's almost like we made another one very similar. Just use some different numbers. We know the area this time is 350. And I know it's 14 times as wide as it is long. So I'll call the length x and the width 14x. So in other words, 350 equals 14x squared. Divide both sides by 14. And I think I'll use a calculator for that. So I take 350 divided by 14. We get 25. So we know x squared equals 25. So x equals 5. So we know the length is going to be 5 yards. The width is going to be 14 times 5, or 80 yards.